Hi there. I thought I would do a quick update on how I roast coffee in an air popcorn popper. I've changed things from when I did my original video several years ago. One of the biggest changes was how I control chaff. I create a chimney usually out of a bean can, like where you can remove both the top and the bottom. And I put this chimney in here, and instead of using almost a cup of beans, I'm now using about 2/3, between a half and 2/3 of a cup of beans. Then I take a number 10 can and I cut the bottom out so that it fits over the chimney. And then I have a sieve, goes over the top of that. It serves two purposes. In the winter time, I use it to preheat beans for the next roast. And also, what happens is it collects the chaff down around the ring inside the can. It's not a perfect system, but it's much neater than the way I used to do it. Let's take a second and talk about the popcorn poppers. This is the one I prefer if I can find them. They're hard to find. But let's see if I can see the inside. I'm going to pull the chimney off real quick. So you can see that on the inside of the roaster, there's vents instead of coming out of the bottom. And I find that this works the best. It moves the beans around in a circular motion if you don't have too many of them in there. Chimney back on. I have a number of different popcorn poppers because either you have to wait for it to cool down or you just move to the next one in your series, and usually by the time you've gotten to the last one you can start and use the first one again. So it's a bit cold out here. As you can see, there's snow on the ground. It's in the low 30s. There's another look of those vents, if that's easier to see there. And I'm going to start it up. It's a little harder to hear. I'm going to take my first 1/3 of a cup of beans. Chaff catcher off for this operation. You see, I'm going to gently start adding the beans in so that they are moving pretty good. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. Next 1/3 of a cup. Slowly add them, trying to keep them moving. I'll try to keep these from going to a complete stall. See, they're still slowly turning, and they'll pick up in a minute. Let me get my chaff collector back on. And because it's cold out, I'm going to throw in another 2/3 of a cup for my next batch. And I will stir these occasionally to keep them from getting too dark in the bottom. This just keeps the heat in a little bit better. And gives the bean a head start for the next roast. See, those are moving okay now. So I'll come back when we get near first crack. Okay, we're not at first crack yet, but I did want to show you that the beans are moving nicely, and they are starting to change color. I wanted to mention the box that I made. I made this insulated box for the winter time. I don't use it all year long, but it does help to keep it warmer so that the beans will get up to temperature. It takes a little longer to roast coffee in the winter time using this method. Sometimes if I can't get it as dark as I want it, I have another roaster that gets way hot. It's almost too hot to do a full roast in, but if you want to finish beans off, you can throw them in there and it gets them done pretty quickly. It brings them up to, even a full espresso if you need to. So we're not quite to first crack yet, but I think I am actually hearing one or two little pops. Just to refresh your memory, first crack sounds a little bit like popcorn. Second crack to me sounds a little bit more like Rice Krispies. Hope you can hear it, but it's just going into first crack now. And I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I don't know if you can hear first crack over all the noise here, but it's in first crack here. And you're doing a light to a light medium roast, you'd be almost done. So it's getting there. It's just past the blonde, I think. And I'm going to let this roll. I'm going to take this all the way up into second crack for about 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, back again. And we're at about a city roast here. Moving kind of quickly today, I'm surprised. Haven't started second crack yet, but it's a pretty nice liquid roast here. This is that's the coffee we're doing today. Thank you, Third Stump Coffee. About a full city roast. Be there in 2 minutes or so. Start second crack. Okay, we're just starting to hear the beginning of second crack here. I want you to notice that the upper beans are starting to get warm enough that they're starting to shed some of their chaff. It doesn't really get too messy because there's not a lot of wind blowing it. You can just faintly hear second crack starting there. I'm going to keep it covered because in this cold weather it won't develop good enough heat containment. I don't leave the beans to sit on the top. I'll come back when it's time to cool. Okay. It's in can hear second crack is still working a little bit there. You can see some of the chaff that's been collected down in this can. I'm going to lift that out of the way. I'm going to let that just continue to cook a little bit. I'm going to put it in the cooling sieve. And because I want it to cook just a little bit more, I'm not going to start cooling it yet. This is not the normal way I do it. I usually shake it, but I only have 2 hands. So, I've started using this heat gun. It's not one that gets really hot, but it has a cooling cycle. I'm going to use it to cool the beans. It's a little messy, but it does get off some of the final chaff. Well, it's this cold out. It's not going to take very long at all to cool. I have an uncooked bean in there. I don't know how that occurred. I don't know if that was already in the sieve and I didn't notice it. Some anomaly, but I'll just pluck that out in a minute. And when the temperature's this cold, it cools off pretty quickly. And now these are perfectly cool to the touch. And they're ready to go into the humidor to charge up. Well, I must have just dropped a green bean in there from something when I was transferring it out, because that hasn't been roasted at all. And that's about it for the update. Have a great day.